just wanted to start, put a little seed in there because I'm going to come back to it. So cholesterol levels will go up when you're making cells, and cholesterol levels go up when you're under stress. All right? So we'll get to that in a second. So that's fats. Make sure you're taking fats throughout the day. If you miss days, you're going to start craving them again. There's no real way to know how much fats to take. Let your cravings be a guide. Let your cravings be a guide. It's the best way to tell. And you shouldn't have dry skin. If you have cramps, you shouldn't have cramps either. That's the only way to tell because there's no real RDA. And fat science is really very basic. It's very rudimentary. We're not really advanced in terms of fat science. The best book on fats, by the way, the Bible of fats, is Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill by Dr. Udo Erasmus. Anybody read that book? It's the Bible of fats. It's the Bible, and it comes out every couple of years as a new edition, and it is an amazing, amazing book. Everybody should be reading that. All right, chapter 3.
Can I ask a question about what's the best way to metabolize the EFAs?
EFA, if you're burping or if...
Did you say it's lecithin and...
If you have a problem with fats, take your fats with fatty foods. And always mix fats with your vegetables. There's nutrients in vegetables that are fatty. Believe it or not, there's in a cucumber or a celery, it doesn't look like it's very fatty, but there's nutrients in the cucumber and in the celery that are actually fatty. And those nutrients that are in the cucumber and celery that are fatty will come out if you put oil on your salad. Always use oil on your salad. Always. Always use some kind of oil in your salad, and it's not a bad idea to have a very, very, very slight amount of heat. Very, very slight, because oils are unstable to heat. So very slight heat on there, because the nutrients that come out of the vegetables will be fatty and they'll come out. So to answer your question, do your EFAs with fatty foods, because the fat metabolizing and fat digestive system, the chemistry will be already started, jump-started, and it'll make it easier to absorb the essential fatty acids. So mix them together, put fats on top of vegetables. Put fats on top of everything. Fat, it makes food taste better. A hormone system kicks in that shuts down your appetite. It's very satisfying. Even a teaspoon of fat, a good essential fatty acid oil, will shut down your appetite, just in an emergency. And by the way, you can't get fat from essential fatty acids. Your body will use them. So in case you're thinking, oh, the calories, your body will use them. Yes, sir.
Does olive oil have any
Olive oil
EFAs?
does not have essential fatty acids, but it's a good oil. It doesn't have EFAs. Don't use it for your EFAs.
How about flaxseed?
Flaxseed's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. The best, babe. Probably the best. Seed oils in general, but flaxseed is tremendous. Yes.
So when you're talking about using oil, you're talking about oil that has essential fatty acids.
Yes. When I talk about oils on your vegetables, you know, if you use olive oil, it's not the end of the world, but you're not getting the EFAs. So you might as well use flax. You get the EFAs out of it. And flax tastes really good, too. Flax oil has a real nutty flavor to it. Mix it with spices. Chapter 3, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates equals sugar, same word. But we want to start to readjust how we think about carbohydrates, because we've been beating up on carbohydrates, and I beat up on them a lot as well. There's a certain type of carbohydrate you want to stay away from. What carbohydrate, first of all, most of your calories should come from carbohydrates. What kind of carbohydrates should most of your calories come from?
Complex.
Not complex. Not complex, because there is a type of complex fiber, carbohydrate, that you don't want to necessarily have. So no. It happens to be complex, but it's more specific than that. What type of carbohydrate am I talking about that we should be getting most of our calories from? Say it louder. I heard somebody say over here. No, I heard over here it was not fruits, it was vegetables. Exactly. Vegetables, 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 like they're going out of style. Morning, noon, and night. You can have a salad for breakfast. You know, you can have a salad for breakfast. I eat salad for breakfast. You say, oh, that's weird. You can have a salad for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. In fact, you want about 1 pound of vegetables for every 50 pounds of body weight. That's 2 big fat, sounds like a lot, right? It's not. It's 2 big salads at Whole Foods. And if you do a Vitamix, it's even easier. That's one of the neat things about a Vitamix is you can drink it. You can just carry it with you, take it to work with you, or whatever. Keep it in the car, drink it out of a gallon jug if you want. And you get all your vegetables. And a V8 doesn't count, by the way. All right? That doesn't count. Oh, I should have had a V8. No. Listen, if it comes in a can, if it comes in a box, you probably don't want it, right? And if there's a little song that they sing, you know, a cartoon character, you definitely don't want it. And that's how it goes, because that sounds funny, but what I'm saying is if there's marketing associated with it, there's a dumb commercial, if there's no little Billy Broccoli cartoon where he's dancing around, you know, or cartoon or songs about radishes or onions, they're always about some kind of processed food. The money on those processed foods, oh my God. When you buy a box of processed food, the margin on that thing, the only thing with a higher margin is prescription drugs than the boxes with the flour and the cereal. You know how much food is in cereal? It's a great, I forgot the name of the book. It's a really cool book where a guy goes to work for he's a chemist, and he goes to work for a cereal company, and he talks about how they make cereal. And it's like air. And then the flakes are all air. There's nothing in there. And they sell it for $3 a box. There's more nutrition in the box. You should eat the box. At least you get some fiber if you chew the box. You know, there's nothing in the cereal. It's pure emptiness, except for stuff that will make you big. It's sugary, it's corn, and that's the real problem. Somebody said complex carbohydrates. Grains are a serious problem. We did not evolve to eat grains. Grains are a recent phenomena. By the way, wheat and corn, the main grains that we eat, they weren't even edible 12,000 years ago. They had to be refined and genetically manipulated over generations, hundreds of years to make them edible. Corn wasn't edible. It was this little hard, nutty thing that you couldn't chew. Same with wheat, all the cereal grasses. And when we started to learn how to farm, that's when our culture started to decline. Not our culture, our health. Our health started to decline when we started to learn how to farm. And our caveman ancestors who were hunter-gatherers were big and strong. And then our little medieval people were like this. You ever see the little medieval houses? Because by that time, people were like 4'11". They were dwarfs. No lie, I'm not kidding. Those little medieval doll houses, and people lived to be like 20. Life expectancy was like 20 back then. And our hunter-gatherer ancestors who ate protein, they actually had big, strong bones, and they were like 5'11", and they lived long lives. Did anybody know that? They don't tell you that. When archaeologists date bones, they look at the bones and they look at how strong the bones are. And if the bones are little shriveled up bones, they go grain-eating culture. Big, strong bones, they go protein-eating culture. Just like when we started to learn how to farm grains, we got civilization, for better or worse. We got culture. You know what else we got? I don't want to get too political here, but that's when we got kings. Because kings decided, well, wait a minute. I can have some of that, and I can keep it and then sell it back to you? Huh, good deal. Right? And that's when we started to get governments, and that's when we started to get religions, and that's when we started to get a whole hierarchical system in place once we started to farm. There's great books on it. Read Jerry Diamond. Anybody read Guns, Germs, and Steel? Great book that talks all about that, right? Talks all about it. What's that? It's not really nutrition, but if you're interested in anthropology, it's a very fascinating read. Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jerry Diamond. He talks all about this, but a lot of people are talking about this now. In any case, grains are very problematic. They're especially problematic for the digestive system. And when you see that food pyramid that says 8 to 12 servings of grains, whose interest do you think that's in? It ain't in yours. You know, and when we think about farmers, it's not like Farmer and the Dell farmers. It's big ConAgra farmers. You know, that's the farmers. We have this romanticized version of the family farm. Forget that. These are big industrial farms. And so it's in the interest, by the way, these crops are so subsidized. You ever wonder why a hamburger costs $1 now? 99 cents for a hamburger, 95. How did that happen? But a head of broccoli, that's like $3, right? Yeah.